Hello everyone, welcome back to the last episode of the Spyro the Dragon Let's Play series. In the last episode we did everything we could here in the Dreamweaver's world, and in today's episode we're going to go, obviously, to the final world, being Nasty's world, which only has 2 levels, both of those levels fairly lengthy, and especially the second one, moderately difficult. The boss fight itself, not worth that much, and then we've got Nasty's loot, which is the longest level in the game by far. So I don't know how long this episode is going to be. Obviously you guys can just check the play bar of this video and you'll know. But I have no idea how long this video will be. It could potentially be only like 20 minutes if I do very well. Also lag spikes. But potentially it could also be like 45 minutes. Also depending on... I think we're going to have 2 credits rolls. One after beating Nasty Nork himself. And then one after beating Nasty's loot. I think I'll cut out the first one. And then during the second one I will... Maybe I can just skip it. Let's stay here. And then after the second one maybe... I can, during the second one I can give my thoughts on the series as a whole, and that's 75. I think there's a total of 80 dragons, and this is the first time actually I'm going into a level portal while the overlay for the homeworld says that there's something left in this homeworld, that being another dragon, because there is another dragon. It's I think the same dragon again, or the dragon we just freed is the same dragon as the first one we freed. There's something like a double dragon in there, but that spot which we just freed the dragon from is going to be filled again once we unlock Nasty Nork as a boss fight. So there's 2 dragons there, and I literally just cannot free the second one until a little bit later on in this episode. So that is why that is a thing, and I usually wouldn't do that, and if I had a choice I wouldn't do it now either, but I don't have a choice, so I'm doing it, and that's going to be a little bit annoying for editing purposes as well. Not that big of a deal, but it's just going to be a mild annoyance. And again, this has been a mild annoyance for editing purposes in general, this entire series, because the whole overlay ID seemed like a good idea when I edited like the first episode. It was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of fun. Turns out it's actually a pain in the ass to do. So maybe for a Ripto's Rage Let's Play I'll do it again, because there's not as much in collectibles, at least not per level, right? There is a lot of orbs, granted, and I'll probably do it differently in like editing software wise, but because right now I'm creating all of these overlays in Photoshop and then placing them in my timeline, while I definitely could also just have the separate elements in my Adobe Premiere timeline and then just toggle the color effects on them. Definitely could do that. I probably should have done that, but for this last episode I'm not going to change my workflow. Anyway, so in Ripto's Rage there's only the talismans, which are at the end of every single level, and then there obviously is the orbs, which I think there's significantly less orbs in that game than there's dragons in this one, and there's more levels, if I recall correctly, in that game. So every single level by itself is going to have oh my god, I saved myself there. Is going to have less editing work. So I might do that, but that also gets me to the next topic I have been thinking about, and that is, am I going to do Ripto's Rage right after this game? And frankly, I don't know. I don't think I will, to be honest. I don't think, yeah, that won't work. Oh, it's the metal crate over there I need to use. That makes sense. I don't think I will, to be honest, because this has been a fun series, and definitely I think I do want to do Ripto's Rage, seriously, at some point, because it's one of my favorite games of all time, and the reignited version has its pros and cons, definitely. It's got some things that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's also got, as I said, it's got its pros and cons. So it's also got things which are greatly improved upon the original version. So I do want to play the reignited version of Ripto's Rage at some point. Not right after this though, I don't think, because I've been playing a little bit of Spyro. I want to play some other games, but I don't know what that would be. We'll go into like Crash Bandicoot right after this, because in my like little view of the world, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are kind of the same like series. It's kind of like they're set in the same universe or something. Well, they're very much not, but they're very closely related. As such, I don't really feel like doing a Crash Bandicoot game right after this either. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to... Didn't I hit that? I could have sworn I hit that. Apparently I didn't hit that. Anyway, did I just get a message? No, that was just a weird sound in the game then. So, wow. Did I do that before as well? Because that seems like the way better way to do it. Bashing that barrel into that guy. That sounds weird. That just sounds weird. Don't repeat that. Don't say that. Bashing a barrel into a guy. So I am now recording the finale of this series, and I don't know what is going to be the series after this yet, and I probably should start thinking about that, because after this I'm going to record some more Pokemon X, and then once that is recorded and all edited up, I have no excuse. I need the new series to be, at least to be decided, so that I can start recording it, right? And I'm going to probably do something for the replacement of the Spyro series, which is able to be edited and produced rather quickly, and maybe the videos will be ever so slightly shorter as well. You know what? I'm pissed. Ever so slightly shorter as well, because as I mentioned before, I do want to build my backup. Wow, that's a tongue twister and a half. And that's going to be difficult with like the lengthy amount of content I'm producing right now. And it seems like, I think I talked about it last episode, or maybe I talked about it in Pokemon X. I don't know. I'm messing this up very badly, by the way. My potential health issues, it's apparently more so a mental health issue, if my doctor is to be believed, isn't going to be fixed from like one day to the next. It's not going to be an overnight fix, which means that the way I'm producing content right now is not very sustainable for my current health at all. And I do want to keep on doing the live streams whenever I can, because they, frankly, they're a lot of fun to do. They work well with longer games which are slower paced, like a lot of JRPGs and all that kind of stuff. And those are some of my favorite games. Like, I do want to do Kingdom Hearts 3. I am doing Final Fantasy X now. I want to do more of those games, and I don't think they fit very well in a Let's Play format for half an hour long videos. 1 to 2 hour streams though, that fits a lot better. So I do want to keep doing that, but giving myself just a little bit of breathing room, having a series where the videos are only 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe sometimes a little bit longer, but on average 10 to 15 minutes. I think that's going to be good for like scheduling purposes and my sanity. Because I do also have a lot more work to do now than I did a couple of months ago. It's been a lot more busy. And that's a good thing, because it's still not busy enough with work-related things for me. But it's been a little bit more busy, so it's not as easy to just sit down and record whenever I want. I now record whenever I have the opportunity, which is a rather big difference, obviously. So whatever's going to be coming after this, it's going to be probably shorter videos. And I just need to find a game that fits that. And Spyro the Dragon, for instance, would have fit that very well, because I could have done a Let's Play where I did one level per video. And this series would have lasted for 2 freaking months and I would have been able to record it in a couple of days. And that would be fine, because that then leaves me more time to record Pokemon X, or whatever comes after X videos when those need to be uploaded. And I think those are still the main priority, because I think people enjoy those the most. And where is the box for the key is the question though. Did I just skip on that? I just skipped on it. No, that's not a key. What? Where is it? What? Am I missing something? Oh, I'm missing an entire path. That's what I'm missing. So it might be Crash Bandicoot, to be honest, because I could do Crash Bandicoot, well, not 1 level per video, but like a warp room per video for Crash Bandicoot 2, for instance, would be, in some cases, slightly longer than 20 or so. Where are my last gems? You're not telling me I missed some gems earlier in the level, did I? It looks like I did. That's not good. Oh, that's 1. Please just tell me I missed a green gem somewhere around here. I need to go way back. I think this is actually one of the few levels, this one and... Oh my god, there's another one. Wait, what? Where? Oh my god. This is one of the few levels where, at least in the original version of the game, I don't know if it's the case in this one as well, but I'm going to assume it is. Where the return to home portal at the end of the level actually matters, because otherwise the next level just won't open. So we're going to be using that as soon as we can find this freaking last gem. It's bothering me. Where is it? I'm so glad that Sparks has the ability to point out remaining gems, because otherwise this would actually be hell. Where? How far back is this gem? Oh, it's you, isn't it? It's you. It's gotta be you. It's you. So now we need to make our way back, because I am not entirely sure if that was a design, like, thing in the original game, if it was a semi-bug, just an oversight, which is what I mean with a semi-bug, because it wouldn't be a bug necessarily, it would just be an oversight, I suppose, in the design, or if it was intended, and how the remake folks interpreted it and then implemented it. So I'm just going to go safely on this one, especially since it's as easy as just going back here. Everything... Wrong corridor. Everything is dead anyway, so it's just a matter of running around and gliding a little bit. And that level by itself took us about 12 minutes. And next up is Twilight Harbor. I think this was... I don't know what it was called, actually. Was this Twilight? That was Nork Cove. And then now we can go to Twilight Harbor, which is actually a pain to deal with. Because you'll see. You will see. It's not an easy thing to deal with whatsoever. Another thing is, if I ever do Riptor's Rage, I want to do it when there's some more interesting mods out there for Spyro. Maybe there already is, because I haven't looked in like a week. And the modding community seems to be fairly new for this game, because it's fairly recently released on Steam. And I think actually, now this, I was going to say, by the time this goes up, the Humble Bundle offer for Humble Monthly for Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot and Call of Duty is still going, but today is the 30th of October, I think. Yes, it is. And this probably will go up on like the 6th, I want to say, or the 4th of November. Because today episode 8 goes up. Then on the 1st of November... we have, and then the 3rd, and then this the 5th. Today's the 5th. Is it? Is today the 5th of November? You watching this? Please tell me. So, there will be a new Humble Monthly, which I obviously don't know what that'll be yet, but I subscribed to Humble Monthly specifically to get this game, because it was cheaper to get Humble Monthly, give Crash Bandicoot to a friend of mine, and then just pocket Call of Duty, just in case at some point in the future I want to play it, than it was to actually buy this game off of Steam. Also, them changing the bullets into purple goo, it just bothers me. Mainly because I always relate Spyro to Crash Bandicoot, and in the Reinsane, that's a combination pack of these two trilogies. Now, the Insane trilogy, you have a Pinstripe, obviously. Pinstripe still has a gun, which still fires bullets. At least in the original Crash. I don't know if there's any other instances of like actual bullets in the Insane trilogy, but that's still in there, and that wasn't an issue. So why the frick are these enemies issues? Is it because they're not boss fights? Is it literally that? Because that would be stupid as all hell. I wanted to do something fancy, and then I realized I'm gonna have to get back up there anyway, so there's no point in me doing anything fancy. So let's do that again without trying to be fancy this time. How about it? So, I must admit, so far Twilight Harbor is not being that big of an issue, but the actual annoying part is, well, partly this part, because I just don't like supercharged sections that much. But mostly it is everything up here collected? I think it is. What's going to happen now? The other supercharged section. I think in a design perspective, by the way, this is very well designed, because you can use this one supercharged ramp for 2 challenges together. It's the one getting up there and getting some gems out of it. And obviously getting some gems out of it. And then going through the parkour and getting the gems in that box, because that is how you're supposed to get it, believe it or not. So I think design-wise that is a very clever thing they've done there. Spyro is green. That really throws me off, because usually Sparks being green means you only have 1 hit point left on him, but with this skin it's 2 hit points, and that just throws me off. So yeah, this is actually the part where there's like an enemy onslaught, and that makes it a little bit difficult to deal with if you don't have any sparks left. Because, okay, I'm going to be a little bit quiet, most likely, because I'm going to concentrate, and oh my god, I did it. Also, I spit on my pop filter. That's a little bit gross. I need to buy a new pop filter anyway. This pop filter's like 5 years old, and while for a very long period of time in those 5 years I didn't actually use it very much, other than for like a very small number of like voiceover things for, oh my god. It's just like, last episode I talked about hygiene and it being like a little bit over the top. This pop filter, I don't get. Oh, I almost did it without getting hit. This is a real difficult part. I talked about hygiene and things being smelly. This pop filter, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit smelly, because I've been breathing into it for like 5 years. And okay, again, a large majority of those 5 years I didn't actually use it that much. So, but I still, like, for 3 of those years, I've talked into this thing on a near daily basis. And it catches things in it. It catches smells, and I haven't gotten all the gems. I need 35 more goddamn gems. Where are they? God damn it. Would have been too easy. It would have been too easy if it's just like that, if I didn't miss anything. Where did I miss gems? Also, my nose is itchy. I missed gems somewhere, 35 of them. Do you see why I hate Twilight Harbor? People say Treetops is bad, and while I wholeheartedly agree with Treetops being not a lot of fun, I think Twilight Harbor is definitely the worst offender of not being a very fun stage because it's frustrating. Is it a bad stage? I don't think there's such a thing as actually a bad... I totally forgot about that. That wasn't very smart on my my part, was it? To be fair, there's nothing that really... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, there's nothing that really implies that you can go on that little thing up there, but there is. It's called a mini-map. As you can see, and also you can see this. But that's just 30. Where's the last 5? It's even farther back. Where is it? It's literally at the beginning of the stage, it seems. You want me to go down here? Is it literally at the beginning of the stage? Oh no, it's just an enemy I missed. Okay, that is that. And with that, we're going to go to the end of this level, and then it's time for Nasty Nork. And after that, it's time for Nasty's Loot. And we're already 20 minutes into the video. Nasty Nork is probably going to take like 2 minutes. Nasty Nork is not a long boss fight. The longest part of Nasty Nork's boss fight is chasing the the key thieves, I suppose, at the beginning of it. After that, it's not that difficult. It's actually itchy. I'm very itchy today. I don't know why. After that, it's actually fairly easy. And if you don't have to actually take out these enemies, it's not that big of a deal, I say, as I get hit. Never mind. But as you can see, it's before I started bragging about it, I did very well just dodging. I've got some Goku levels of Ultra Instinct going on there, but for gaming. So apparently this thing only returns after defeating Nasty, is what I learned here today. Which makes a lot of sense, because then when you free this guy, you get a 100% completion. And then this thing opens upon getting 100% completion. Otherwise, there would be no check to see if you've beaten Nasty. At least, it's a more efficient check this way, because you don't have to have a separate check. You just check, do you have 100%? And you literally can't have 100% of the collectibles before beating Nasty, because actually there would need to be like something that generates that. So I don't think in like either computing power or data it really would matter at the end of the day. But just let me think I'm smart, okay? Let me think I'm smart. Let me act like I actually know what programming is like. I know, like, I don't even want to say I know the very basics, because I really don't. I did that on purpose. I totally did that on purpose. I also forgot that this level, like any other boss level, has gems in it, which means that the section where we chase Nasty is probably going to take a little bit longer than I anticipated, because I think I'm going to have to pick up every single gem, because 100% completion, obviously. So okay, these are the key thieves, which are a pain, because you chase one key thief. Also, you need to do all of these twice, because there's no way in hell you're picking up all of these gems and getting the key at all. So these key thieves seem to be a lot faster than the axe thieves, and that is because they are. And they're a pain, as I said, to deal with. Because usually if this was just a normal axe thief, I would have gotten them by now, right? And oh man, especially these curves here, it's this little bit of straight road. I pressed the fire button, you son of a... Oh my god. At least Sparks got me a gem. At this straight part where you can make up some distance. And that's the only part, really. So then you unlock this gate, and you're like, okay, now I can go to Nasty. No, it unlocks another key thief. Because of fucking course it does. And it's very dark around here. Let's just focus on the gems for right now. The key thief's not gonna... I think the key thieves, yeah, they wait anyway. I don't know what it is with the camera here, and more importantly, my fire button not working very well. Because it's been 3 times so far that I've pressed the fire button and it didn't use fire. Okay, so now you have your second key and you can make your way to Nasty over here. And that then creates a little bit of a staircase and you can start chasing him, which is the main part of the quote-unquote boss fight. And as you can clearly see, this place is designed for you to not be able to keep up with him and collect all the gems. So what you do is first time around you collect the gem, second time around you chase him, and you don't even need to like flame him or anything like you did with the key thieves. What you do is you just chase him, and if you are close enough to him at the end of this little parkour section here, he'll open a different door and go through that. And that leads you to the end of this fight, and this is obviously the end there. So now we're just going to keep chasing him and go as fast as we... I was going to say humanly, but it's more like draconically can. And that should be that. Because the second part of this is not that difficult. It's just a little bit of like... If you're slow, it can become fairly tight platforming. Because there are retracting platforms. But all things considered, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, my... apologies there, you do actually have to flame him. I totally forgot about that until nothing happened. And I was like, yeah, maybe flame him, just see what happens. So yeah, if you're slow, this platforming can become fairly tight towards the end here. But if you're not slow, as you can see, it's not that big of a deal, and then you get like 100 gems for beating Nasty. And that's how we do! And oh my god, the shaders are... Wow! The shaders made it a bit difficult, but to be honest, the depth of field thing works very well with this cutscene.
What about Ganasty Ganor?
Because usually there's no like major depth of field in this cutscene, but since it tracks Spyro, it works well in the cutscenes actually. The mod page channel wouldn't work very well with cutscenes. Does this cutscene usually have depth of field enabled? Because it just pulled a little bit to the sheep. Yeah, we're not going to go through the entirety of the credits yet, because the adventure continues indeed. We're half an hour in and we're gonna have to go another like 20 or so minutes. This is Magnus. This is the last dragon we free.
Nasty's ancient history now. So what's in there?
I believe this is Nasty's treasure hoard.
Okay, we almost... Actually, we can't skip this dragon. I was gonna say, we almost listened to this dragon, but we're not going to. Never mind. You are forced to listen to that dragon. I'm sorry? I missed 1 gem in Nasty Nork. 1 gem! That's anticlimactic. Very much so. I've got 11,999 gems. I missed 1. Obviously, Nasty's nude. Nasty's nude. Nasty's loot doesn't open up if you only have 11,999 gems. You need 12,000. And then you get another like 2,000 in that level, which is insane. Where is that 1 gem? It's gotta be in this room here somewhere, right? Or in one of the key thief parts? Easy as that. Easy as that. And that makes 12,000, which then should open up Nasty's loot. the 100% completion bonus level for this game. Now that I mention it, I don't think... Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I don't think Riptor's Rage has one. I know Year of the Dragon has one, but I've never been there because I don't like Year of the Dragon that much. And some of the missions are just pain to deal with. So, you have unlimited flight, but only to a certain height. You need to unlock higher heights by chasing egg thieves. And what I said before about the purple flame boxes being unique... yeah, no, there's actually quite a lot of them in this level. There's no red ones, though. I think every gem in here is worth at least like 10 or 25. I don't even think there's any blue gems in here which are worth 5. Maybe I am mistaken and maybe I already picked one up. I frankly don't know. Let's see. That's 10, that's 10. That's 25. I think I might be right in saying that. And that surprises me, to be honest, because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But there is like 2,000 gems in this level, so it does make sense that there's no gems just worth 5. I do wonder, actually I don't wonder, but I'm going to complete the sentence anyway. I do wonder how they check for how high you can fly, because once I open up this, I still have to go up there in order to fly higher, don't I? Don't I? No, I don't. They just check which doors you have opened. Okay, I was going to say, they probably have something like, if you walk on this stair, you unlock the ability to fly higher. Or it's literally just something like, the highest you have been on ground is how high you can fly, or something like that. But it's literally just, you open the door, you gain more height. It's just that easy. And that is the most, I mean, that's the most efficient and least exploitable way, I imagine. So, yeah, these key thieves, by the way, not as big a deal as the key thieves in nasty boss fights. These are actually, there's a couple that are a little bit painful to deal with. But it's more painful to deal with the fact that I don't know where the next... there it is, the door. There's one that flies around, and that's this one. And that one is a bit of a pain to deal with, I'm going to be honest. I almost got him right away. Is it this one? No, it's not even this one. There's another one which flies around in... those. You see why this is just not fun, because it feels so much fucking slower. It's just slowly, very, very slowly catching up to this fucker. And my flame breath isn't really doing much for me either here, so yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. So where do we go now? Let's stop here for a moment and that's where we go next. Okay. Don't mind the rendering glitch there. It's it's okay. It's this one. This one is actually pain. It's just. I don't like the flying ones in general, as I mentioned, but this one is just, it hurts me in my soul. Like, deep in my soul it hurts me. Especially since it feels like these are slower even than in the original version of the game, which is not a good thing. Maybe because the flight is slower, but it feels like the flight in here is slower than in the flight stages, and that was a lot easier than I remember it being, so maybe they made them easier in this version of the game. As you can tell, by the way, I am definitely more inclined to just unlock the highest heights first and then go looking around for other gems. And that is the highest one you unlock, actually. So now we just need to find like another 1,000 gems. Should be easy, right? This might be the fastest I've ever done Nasty's loot, to be honest. I don't think I've ever been able to complete it this fast. Yeah, because there's just these boxes here, then there is the loot room, as I like to call it. And then I think that is that. I think we're about to end the game. And I think there's 1,000 in the level itself, and then there's 1,000 in the loot room. And the loot room is actually, it's probably the most satisfying place in the game, to be honest. I can see another gem over there sparkling. It's probably the most satisfying place in the game, because there's got to be 50 more around here somewhere, if my hypothesis is correct. Oh, or probably on the balcony here, right? Or on the way to the loot room. Just look at... That was very satisfying. But this? We're at 1150. We're at 2000. Level 100% complete. And with that, we finished Spyro the Dragon. This has been the entire Let's Play, and it's been about 40 minutes. Yeah, and this is actually the canon ending, because this leads into Riptor's Rage, or Gateway to Glimmer, depending. And the focusing issue is a lot more apparent in this cutscene, definitely. Because it's... Where is it trying to focus? It's like... It's somewhere on Spyro's forehead and wings or something?
You know what they say, for every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a...
Yeah, I don't care. So, do we get a credits roll? Do we? Or don't we? Because if we don't, that's fine. I'm just going to end the episode. Do we get a credits roll? We do not. With that, I would like to thank you so much for watching the Spyro the Dragon Let's Play. If you missed any episodes, there's a playlist on the channel. You just gotta look. And there's also a playlist for the original Spyro the Dragon, the retro, the PlayStation 1 version. That one is a episode per level. So if you're looking for any specific level, you can look at that one. They should be the same anyway. This one just looks a lot better and plays slightly differently. Next time we'll be back with... Hello, Sparks. Next time we'll be back with an entirely different game. As I mentioned, it's probably going to be shorter videos from next time onwards, because this has been 40 minutes, and then I probably just can't deal with that. But I'm going to go edit this now, which is going to take a while, because I also need to edit the last episode still. I'll see you back next time. Until then, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. It's a Discord channel you can join. It's good stuff. We have a good time in there. Bye.